Alright, so I think we're going to do one more segment here. Okay, so I'm going back into the main folder and I'm going to bring back up this chart. Isn't that nice? Once I increase the saturation and then decrease the gamma on it, it really makes the colors different. So I like to do that. As long as we can zoom in a little bit on Princess, calm down. Uh, as long as we can zoom in a little bit on it. So we've stumbled on, now we have the pentatonic stack up here, but that wasn't really the subject of our discussion. We stumbled onto this. This brings us into the next cage. Okay, so C, A, G, E, D. C is going to be a little bit into A. You know, A is going to be a little bit into the G part. So if you started the A on the 5, it's going to be into the G part, which starts on 6. If you started the R shape, it's going to be a little bit into the Dorian mode. It's called Dorian because you start on the 2 and you end on the 2. It's a minor, but actually that'll get you up to the D shape of that root. Okay, so you start on an E there with the R, and then if you play it barring the 2, you'll get the same root. Does that look familiar? So you got an E-shaped 5R3, and then when you started from the 2, the 5R3 moves up to here, which is the top 3 strings at that point. Same thing, but now it's like in the D shape zone once it's warped. What I want to show you up here is what I've done. I've pretty much got the building blocks up here, and it's important that I explain what they are. I had to redefine this one as, we're going to call it S3 long, because it's a stack of 3 and it's got the 4th and the 7th, so that is, we're going to call it S3 long, whereas this one I'm going to just call S3 short. Stack of 3 short. So to make a diatonic, a pentatonic stack, okay, is going to be composed of a stack of 2 long and stack of 3 short, and that's all it is. Here's S2L with an S3S on top of it. Now you justify it to this way so that you've always got perfect fourths. So if you want to know where to put something, say we start with the S2L down here. Where are we going to put the S3S? There's an ambiguity. There's a 3 boxes going on top of a 4 boxes. Well, in the pattern, the 6 is going to go to the 2 because it's in perfect fourths. So that's where it's going to go. Now, the root, the 2 is going to go to 5 in perfect fourths there, okay? The root is going to go to the 4, but in a pentatonic, we don't have the 4th. We don't have the 4th. It just... And it's simple, and I never played these things on piano because I thought they were simple, too simple for me, but it's really fun on guitar to play these pentatonic scales, right? But then you gotta warp it. Now, the reason why we don't draw the warp in the pattern is because depending on where you start, that 4th string to the 5th string is going to be different. So if we started it on the 2, all right, on the same note even now, so F would, in my case, it's the F here. Okay, started on the 2, all right, it's going to go string 1, string 2, string 3, string 4, and then we're going to have to warp the 6 and the 2. And that's going to warp into a D shape because it's going to take this R in the lead of this 5, and it's also going to, and then this is going to follow the warp. So this 2 and the 6 and 3, both of these strings are going to warp over once, and you'll get the 5 to the root to the 3. That's how you get your D shape on that one. All right. That's the root below that 2 there. So I've redefined this as S3S. Okay, so we've got these patterns. This pattern is stack of 3 extra long, and notice it is long, extra long, right, compared to long here, because this was short, this was long. That's how we built the simplest pattern stack. And you can do all 5 pentatonic scales. I haven't worked out the Lydian pentatonic, or the first one I really had trouble with was the half diminished pentatonic. I haven't worked them out yet, because let's face it, if you have, all right, that's the let's say the C pentatonic, then the D pentatonic would be the A, rather, the A shape would be, okay, and the G shape would be, all right, and the E shape would be, all right, and the D shape would be like that. I haven't worked out the because it's not in the pentatonic scale, the 4th or the 7th. So there is no pentatonic for the 4th or the 7th. Here we have a stack of 3 extra long. This is part of our basic 7L pattern, where I put together a stack of 3 longs here, S2, 3, 5, 6, 7, R2. On top of that, in fourths, goes the stack of 2 longs, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, R. To the right of that, sharing that this is the top member of the S4S now it's called, not S3S. 7R2, 5, 6. Put these together, and underneath it goes another S2L. And in the middle, you get this 5, 6, 7, R2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why did I draw this? Because yesterday we were talking about when you add one of these to itself and you overlap the notes properly, right? So we've got R2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, you get in this double 7L pattern, there's all 5 cages. Let's look at the shapes. For 2, we've got our D, right, which is root 5. For 3, we've got root 3, 5 here. For 4, we've got root 5, 3. 4 is just a repeat of the E shape. We'll get to that. Here's 5 root 3. The E shape isn't showing. Whoa, the E shape isn't showing, but root would be right under that 4. But it's part of this. This covers that, because there it is, root 5 root 3. And this, believe it or not, is a 6-string pattern. I'm just showing you that there's 6 strings here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 on the top there. Okay, it covers all 6 strings. So we did the E shape, then the D shape, you know, once again, and the A shape is kind of split between it here. So this one that goes over here in the end, that's part of the A shape. Okay, so the 5, remember 5 goes to 6, the 6 would be under the 2 there. So double 7L covers all 5 cage positions, and that's it. But where did it take me? It didn't really take me anywhere, except we had a pattern that was too big with a lot of repeating notes. So eventually we have to go back to the building blocks. So how do we build this pattern? It's easy. We have a new pattern here called S4L. What is that? Where did S4L come from? Okay, S4L comes from It's got an S2L, which is a basic building block.